I thought I was just grabbing my prepaid drink. Instead, a woman with a designer bag put her hands on me and tried to punish me for ordering ahead. I'm 28, and there's a Starbucks right next to my therapist's office. Over the last few months, I've gotten into the habit of grabbing something sweet before my session. And before anyone comes for me, yes, I know, my 10,400 calorie syrup bomb isn't real coffee. It's basically a caffeinated milkshake. I don't care. It's my little treat. It makes the hard work of therapy feel slightly less brutal. It's the tiny reward I give myself before I go in and emotionally dismantle my life for an hour. Yesterday morning, I made a rare good decision. I knew the lunchtime rush was coming, so I ordered ahead on the app. Simple, efficient, adult behavior, and the timing was perfect. 10 minutes later, I walked into the cafe right as the barista was finishing the last touches on my pumpkin spice cold brew. She called my name. I practically bounced up to the counter. I reached for my precious sugar caffeine nectar, and I felt a manicured hand land lightly on my forearm. Not a tap, not a quick, "Excuse me." A full, deliberate hand, like she was physically claiming the right to control what I did next. I turned my head. The woman attached to that hand looked like she'd stepped out of a Women in Leadership magazine spread. She was around 35, and everything about her screamed polished and expensive. Immaculate linen suit, perfect makeup, tight, high ponytail, gold jewelry that caught the light every time she moved, designer logo on a leather bag that probably cost more than my car payment. The only things that gave away her personality were the lifted chin and the aura of superiority so intense you'd swear she was towering over everyone. She was not. She was actually a couple inches shorter than me. For convenience, I'm going to call her Beelzebub, or just the devil. She smiled at me, and it almost looked genuine, until she spoke. Her tone was sweet and patronizing, like she was gently correcting a child. "That's not yours." I frowned, genuinely confused. My first thought was maybe it was just a mix-up. I looked at the cup. My name was written right there. "Oh, sorry," I said automatically. "Do we have the same name? Because I'm pretty sure this is my drink." Her smile tightened. "No, that's not my name." And then she said her name, something long and totally different from mine. And I ordered a soy matcha, extra hot, 2 pumps of vanilla. I blinked. "Okay, then yeah, this definitely isn't your drink. Maybe ask the barista if yours is taking a while. Or just wait until something green shows up." I reached for my cup again. Her nails tightened on my arm, and her smile started to crack. "I didn't say it was my drink," she said, voice colder now. "I said, it isn't your drink." I stared at her. "I saw you," she continued like she was testifying in court. "You just walked in and grabbed the first cup you saw. You can't do that." Oh, so this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was some kind of moral crusade. "Right," I said slowly, forcing myself to stay calm. "I ordered ahead on the app. That's why it was ready when I got here. It is my drink." She looked unconvinced, so I pulled out my phone and showed her the confirmation email. Paid, my name, timestamp, everything. I even smiled like I was trying to keep it friendly, because I am, unfortunately, raised to be polite even when someone is acting insane. I reached for my drink again, and that's when she snapped. She shoved my hand away, hard. Not enough to injure me, but enough that it stung immediately. The back of my hand lit up with a hot, red mark. "I don't care if it's your drink," she said through clenched teeth. "That's not fair. You can't just walk in and take it. You need to stand in line like everyone else." I stood there with my mouth open. This stranger had just smacked my hand, because she didn't like how Starbucks' mobile ordering system worked. There were people everywhere, at least 8 waiting around the pickup counter, and a full line of people ordering. She seriously believed I should stand there and wait for the entire store to be served first, even though my drink was already made and already paid for. All to satisfy her twisted little fairness fantasy. Absolutely not. I looked past her at the barista. The poor woman had that exhausted expression of someone who's survived 1,000 customer wars and has the 1,000-yard stare to prove it. Her polite smile looked like it was held together by pure willpower. With an annoyed sigh, she stepped closer to see what was happening. That was when I finally broke my own polite mode. "What the hell?" I said, loud enough for everyone around us to hear. "Don't touch me. Are you out of your mind?" The devil immediately pivoted toward the barista, like she was about to call the United Nations. "She just got here," the woman said, icy and certain. "She has to wait. It's not fair to those of us who are actually in line. She can't just walk in and grab the first cup she sees. Tell her to wait." The barista looked at me and, this is the part that still makes me laugh, she went full professional autopilot with the wrong person. "Miss, you need to stand in line and order," she said coolly. "You can't just take someone else's drink." I stared at her. "It is my drink," I said, trying not to sound insane while standing next to someone who clearly was. "I already explained this to her. I ordered on the app. It was ready when I arrived. Here's the email confirmation, and my name is on the cup. Look." I held my phone out again. I angled the cup so she could see. It was all there. Grande cold brew, pumpkin spice, add vanilla shot. My name. The barista quickly compared my screen to the cup, and I watched her expression shift from tired to confused to, "Oh my God, not today." She turned to Beelzebub. "Ma'am, that really is her drink. She paid for it." "I don't care if she paid for it," Beelzebub snapped. "I'm standing here waiting like everyone else. She should have to wait too. She shouldn't get special treatment." The barista's voice stayed controlled, but her patience was clearly thinning. "Ma'am," she said, "she ordered ahead. Her drink was made in the order the tickets came in. She didn't cut the line. It wasn't processed through the in-store queue." Beelzebub's nostrils flared, like she was deeply offended by the concept of time. The barista continued. "Some drinks are faster, some take longer. No one is being prioritized. You're welcome to use the app in the future if you'd like to avoid waiting." Then the barista's tone sharpened just slightly. "But you cannot stop other customers from picking up their orders, and you cannot put your hands on people. Please step back and let others get their drinks. Your order will be ready soon. Otherwise, I'll have to ask you to leave." Beelzebub acted like she'd been stabbed. "No," she said, voice rising. "I want my drink, and I want her to wait until everyone else gets served first. Make my matcha. Now. She can wait." I looked at the barista. "I'm actually running late for an appointment," I said. "Can I please just take my drink?" And she hit me. I literally have a mark on my hand. I held my hand up. The barista's eyes flicked to the red mark, and I saw something in her face. Maybe annoyance, maybe sympathy, maybe a silent "I hate this job." But she nodded once, very small. "Yeah," she said quietly. "That's not okay." And then she did something that felt like a tiny act of justice. She picked up my drink and handed it directly to me, firmly, like she was making a point. The moment my fingers closed around the cup, Beelzebub's perfect face warped. Her expression twisted into pure rage. She didn't scream right away, but her voice went icy, vibrating with fury as she turned on the barista. "This is absurd," she hissed. "You're all idiots. Your entire system is stupid. This is corruption. Do you even know who I am? Don't mess with me, little girl. Get your manager. Now." She started pounding the counter with her palm for emphasis, like a toddler demanding candy. "I didn't do anything," she continued. "I paid for my drink. I'm not leaving. I'll sit right here and drink it, because I have that right, and you can't stop me." I glanced at the barista. She blinked slowly, heavy, tired, like she was fighting the urge to cry, or more realistically, fighting the urge to roll her eyes so hard they'd never come back. Then she looked at me and gave the smallest nod toward the exit. It was the universal expression of, "Go. I've dealt with worse. Get out before she decides you're the main character again." So I moved. The crowd watching, yes, a full crowd now, split apart like the Red Sea and let me pass. Everyone was pretending not to stare, while staring as hard as humanly possible. As I got close to the door, Beelzebub realized her prey was escaping. She whipped her head around and actually yelled, "Hey, where do you think you're going? She can't just leave. Someone stop her. I said she has to wait." And then she screamed it, loud enough for everyone in the store to hear. "Make that little bitch come back and wait her turn." I lifted one finger in a tiny wave, just one finger, and kept walking. At that exact moment, the bell above the entrance jingled. A security guard walked in. Beelzebub immediately switched targets. Her rant shifted into a whole new tantrum. Now she was demanding refunds, demanding a free matcha, demanding apologies, insisting she had the right to be there, insisting they couldn't remove her, pounding the counter like it owed her money. I stepped out through the door into blessed sunlight, holding my cold brew like a trophy. I headed to therapy, sipping my pumpkin spice abomination like it tasted sweeter than usual. And the entire walk there, I pictured her drink, her extra hot soy matcha with 2 pumps of vanilla, sitting somewhere behind the counter, getting colder by the second, while she spiraled in her expensive little outfit. Every sip tasted better. Later, after people ask questions, I'll add this. Yes, this happened in Australia. And yes, I know I have a ridiculous American seasonal candle taste in coffee. I own that. It was weirdly delicious. Also, people asked why I didn't hit her back. Because I'm not a fighter. If I tried to swing, I'd probably break my own hand. And I wasn't about to get banned from the only Starbucks I ever go to, or deal with the police, or wait around for hours giving a statement when my therapist was literally expecting me. And no, I wasn't going to throw a drink on her. If I made a mess, the employees, not her, would be the ones cleaning it up. One guy even made a fake account just to send me a death threat because he thought my attitude was arrogant. Honestly, the amount of effort was almost flattering. If you're reading this, feel free to message me again, this time with your name and address. I promise, I definitely won't report it. Anyway, it's 4 a.m. and I'm done. If I wake up to 200 notifications, I'll laugh.
That's where the story ends. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this story in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and see you next time.